Just from watching it from where we are, it feels like there's a little bit of a faster pace this year.
Sure.
Is that just kind of the byproduct of going into year two?
Yeah, look, great question. Year two has been, obviously a great thing for everybody. Coaching staff, players, equipment room, everybody. Again, because you learn so many things from year one, schematically, operationally, and then you do those things and say to yourself in the offseason, hey, well, how can I improve those things that I didn't do well good enough job on? And you hopefully build off that, and you kind of see some of those things come to fruition, in the spring, which is really encouraging. That's the most important thing I think of this spring. So it's been really great.
Mick, I was mentioning this to Andre, talking to one of your players recently,
Yeah.
and they referenced how the offensive line plays with Carmen. And I thought that was very interesting. He has been able to really get in with those guys. He's tough, but they love him. He's one of them. What is it about his style that they embrace him as one of their own? He's just not their coach.
Carmen is a phenomenal person. He's one of my best friends, so I love Carmen Priscilla. He's a great coach and a great person. So it's easy to love Carmen because I think he does a couple things. He's honest, and he holds players accountable, and he tells them the truth. I think that's the most important thing about coaching is you give the players the truth, and you tell them what it is and what it's not. And I think they want that, they deserve that, and I think Carmen does a great job at that.
Obviously, Jimmy's not able to get on the field, but as a coaching staff, how do you kind of maximize this time of the year so that this isn't a wasted point in time for him?
I think Jimmy's done a great job of attacking each day like he's got going to go out there and practice, right? So in the meetings this morning, phenomenal, love working with him, great attitude, and he's locked in every step. He's asking great questions, helping the young guys out, and obviously, him and Brian and Chase have some experience in the system, and then, helping Hayden out as he, starts his NFL career and stuff like that. Not just this system, but the NFL system. So, he's been great. Just, I've really enjoyed my time with him so far and continue to work forward, to have a great year.
You guys added a lot of receivers this offseason. What excites you about guys like Dorsett and Sims and Carter?
Yeah, DeAndre Carter, Cam Sims, and Philly Dorsett. I was with Philly Dorsett back in New England, so I obviously knew him, had some previous experience with him. Those guys all work very, very hard. They all came here on their visit, and they expressed how much they love football and how much they love being in a culture that kind of has a hard-nosed attitude. Preaches hard work, dependability, accountability. I think all those guys have shown up every day to try and do that, and that's been the most encouraging part. Because obviously every year in free agency you lose guys, you gain guys, but if you can gain good people, that's really the most important thing. And I think we did that at the receiver position.
Were you guys looking to get faster at that position, to add more speed, goals against the offense?
Everybody's looking to get faster. So, definitely. Obviously, we preach speed, toughness, competitiveness, and, all those things. So, for sure, at any position, we're looking to improve our skill set, whatever which way it may be.
Coach, this is kind of a two-parter, but obviously your first season being offensive coordinator in the NFL last year.
Yeah.
What was one of the biggest things would you say you learned last year that you're starting to take into this? And also, how cool is it to have your brother on the coaching staff now?
Yeah, it's great. I love my brother. He's a really hard worker. Obviously, his career took a different path than mine, and he was available. And I want to get good people, good coaches, and he provides that for us. But being with him every day, my sons, my kids obviously enjoy Uncle Matt more than Dad. So, but no, it's been great to have him. And then obviously, just like I spoke earlier, just as a whole entire thing, going into the first year of anything is difficult. Right, you learn so much more than you thought you had to learn, and I really enjoyed the process this spring of self-reflecting on the season, self-reflecting on myself, the offense, the team, and just my approach to every day. And I think overall it's been really, really fun to kind of just try and improve that and keep improving that.
Coach, can you talk about Dylan Parham's growth going from year one to year two, and what have you seen? I know it's early stages, but what have you seen from him and building up his game as he moves forward?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with confidence, right? Confidence, know what to do and how to do it. You rewind a year ago, he was just a rookie, out of Memphis, and didn't know a whole lot, and just how to learn how to practice first of all. Now they learn how to practice, and they know what to do, and now it's just tweaks and talking about different techniques, and now you can improve the technique because the assignment's taken care of. So when the assignment's taken care of, then you can really hone in on what can you do a little bit better in terms of technique to get better. And I think Dylan's trying to do a good job of that this spring, improving from year one to year two.
Coach, sticking with the offensive line, you have continuity. A lot of those guys are back now. how much does that make them exponentially better because we know that they work kind of in concert with each other more than any position?
No doubt, and I think the guys that we added have been, really received very well by the offensive line room. The two young rookies and a couple of guys in free agency that we added have done a good job of coming in, and those other guys helping each other out. They see the offensive line sees each other as one, not just of 5 guys out there at one time. So there's 15 or 16 guys every year in training camp, and you hope to have that in the offensive line room, where they're a tight-knit group and they help each other out. And I think that's what we have, and I think that's what we preach every day. I think Coach Carmen, Coach Cam, do a good job of holding those guys accountable, and they appreciate that. And that dependability every day, dependability and toughness, right? We preach about that a lot. And I think when you have continuity, that can obviously help you get that way you want.
Josh, the durability and production of Josh Jacobs pretty much negated any kind of a running back by committee or anything like that.
Sure.
But can you envision maybe Zamir and Britton being implemented a little bit more, even when Josh gets here, and as well as he's playing and being as durable as last year?
Yeah, look, we always talk about your role is what you make it, and I think there hasn't been a more greater opportunity than one in the running back room for those young players like Zamir and Britton. So they've got a lot of reps, they've got a lot of exposure, they've learned a lot, so there's no hiding anymore. There's a lot of reps that they get that maybe Josh would have had or somebody else would have had, but they're getting them, which is great for them. The young players, they sometimes need to learn how to fail to succeed. And I think it's really what you're seeing. And look, I'm not saying that Zamir White and Britton Brown go out there and mess up every play. I'm not saying that at all. But look, just like anything that you do, anything new, you go out there, you learn from your mistakes, and being able to do that and fix the mistakes, I think is what they're able to do this spring. They've done a great job of that.
Kind of staying in that running back room, another guy, Sincere McCormick, who got hurt last year.
Yeah.
He's now back on the field doing things.
Sure.
What was the process like of seeing him recover from that, and what do you want to see from him?
Yeah, it's great. Any time a player, obviously gets an injury like that where they're out a long time, you hope they come back and hope they can perform the way they want to perform. And I think Sincere's, not only done that, but he's done a great job of just learning the playbook and coming out there. And then, like I talked about with Britton and Zamir, he's gotten some reps too, and probably reps he wouldn't have gotten as a rookie before. So again, hope, first of all, the player's health is obviously concern number one. And then once they have that back, then just, obviously learn the player, who he is, how he learns. And it's been a joy for me to do that with him.
You guys all set?
That's it.
All right.
Let me off the hook, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.